Hey guys, Darth Lork here, back with part 4 of our Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice playthrough. So last time we did things. It was like 4 days ago was our last part in this game, so I honestly have no idea. I have no idea what we did, but I'm sure it'll all come back. Oh yeah, wait a minute. It wasn't last time, it was like this horrifying sensory deprivation section that kind of made me shit myself a little bit. I think that's what happened last time. Oh, yeah, I remember that now. That was horrifying. That was awesome. So now we're back. And, we're in like a weird mood. Hell mood, apparently. Other game, we're doing Get Out of Hell, and we're doing this game, which is like Viking Hell. There's lots of hell flying around. I should do something light and fluffy after these playthroughs are over. Right. We got the blade. I know that was one thing that happened. We got the fancy blade, and now we're ready. Hopefully we can use this blade to good effect. Hopefully. Hopefully our next interaction with the giant doesn't get us killed. And hopefully I can remember the buttons in time for combat. Which I know it tells you right here. So it's like, it's not that bad, but still. Oh, thank God. Gonna be honest, that was part of the weirdness. Is the photo, or not the, I was looking at the word photo on the screen. Anyway, that was part of the weirdness. Was the sensory deprivation included the voices, and the voices chatter in your ear the entire game. And initially they were horrifying and they were scary, but then like after a certain point they actually became really comforting because it adds, like, it helps, helps keep, they're good company. So like it ended up actually being way worse when they were gone. So that's interesting. So honestly, I'm ecstatic that they're back. Very happy to have the voices back. Where would I be without them? Hello, voices. I missed you. And obviously they missed me too.
I'm here to help you.
I'm glad. Hey, I'm happy to have you. All right. I'm happy to hear it. Welcome back.
We found her. We found you. We found us. Don't worry. We're here to help you. You don't have to do this on your own.
Imagine there'll be like a lore thing. Okay, well, there's obviously a way over there. What's over here?
You need us. So worried. Silence.
Well,
We didn't know where you'd gone. We're here to help you.
I don't know which way is right.
Trust us.
All right, having them chant "trust us" in my ear is like
Don't leave us.
scary.
There's a way in.
If I have a choice, I won't leave you again. I can tell you that.
Where to go. It's not far.
I know it's not far. I'm assuming there's a lore. Like, really, the way to go would be to go through this game again, but with, I think we've already been here, by the way.
Does she know which way to look?
I
Does she
don't.
know her way into the mountain?
I actually don't know the way in, voices. Thank you.
So
I'm guessing here.
did you miss us?
We didn't look up this way last time. But if I was actually trying to get the achievement of getting all of the lore things, the way to do it would be having a guide and playing through the game again. Which would absolutely be the way to do it.
Go on.
I am glad you're back, though.
Go up into the mountain.
Thank you. I was assuming I was supposed to go up, so that's what I was already doing.
There's a door. You can do it. You can see it.
I think I've gone the right way.
Go away. I'm not listening.
No, don't tell them to go away. I like them. I like them here. Don't tell them to go away. And I was listening, and I listen anytime they speak. I'm just gonna sip my cranberry juice. Oh, goody. More than one gate makes me feel like it's gonna be worse. Whatever's ahead must be horrifying. Is it Hella, the big old giant? Oh, that's a lore thing. Spooky. Achievement! Fat 90 gamer score, though.
I will tell you of a great hero named Sigurd, son of Sigmund, no less. Born after his father's death, Sigurd is cared for by the dwarf Rain. But Rain does not love the boy. Instead, he plans to use him for his own ends. You see, Rain's father possessed a great treasure given to him by the gods. But Rain's brother, Fafnir, killed his father and took the gold all for himself. Fafnir hid the treasure out on a heath and could not leave it. And from the evil in his heart, he turned into a dark creature. A dragon.
Alright. Interesting story. I don't think I can jump. Are you gonna break into a Phil Collins song? I noticed one of them said, "Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord." That's a great song, by the way. Memes aside, that's a great song. I'm so gonna die. Everything is scary in this game. Everything is. If the voices could stop saying "it can see you," that would be great. That's horrifying. I'm opening the door. We're committed to this point. Doing it. And we're doing it.
What's it?
Get back. A great beast guards Helheim. Garm is its name, and it knows you are here, Senua. It can smell your stink.
That's a rude thing to say.
What are you afraid of, Senua? How will you say Dillion if you are too much of a coward to step into the shadows?
They can't stop me.
Then do it!
I will do it, alright? I'm gonna do it right now. I just gotta take a sip. I need cranberry juice, man. Cranberry juice, fun fact, is good for your kidneys. From what I understand, it's good for your kidneys. And I drink a lot of Rockstars, so my kidneys need all the love they can get. That's why I drink them. Anyway, not the point. Let's go. I ain't scared. Let's freaking go.
The beast is stalking you from the shadows. Your sword is useless here.
Yeah, well, we all gotta die sometime. Let's go. It's not that big. Yeah, oh yeah, there we go. Torch.
The beast is still here.
I'm sure it is.
No. It's a trick.
Mother, do you hear that?
Don't fall for it.
It's me, Senua. It's so loud.
It's not her.
So full of hate.
It's a trap.
Just want to help them. Tell me what to do. Your father wants them to go away. And he only hurts me to silence them. But he's gone now. They always come back. He says I will die if I go with them. They say that I'm already dead. No, and they want me with them. Stop! That's why they crawl through the walls. Don't listen. Do you see them? Do you see their faces? He's coming. Senua, help me. No, get me out of here. Don't go. She's disappeared again.
It's a memory.
Be here.
I don't think it's
She escaped
real.
the darkness. She took her own life to escape it.
Let's say I don't think it's her.
When it started, when her mother lost her smile, her eyes gazing past her towards a world she could not see. This is what happens if you reach for the underworld, he said. It was a lot to take in for a child. And the first time she felt the cold chill of fear. I don't talk much about her father, Sinbad. I suppose I just didn't want to risk upsetting her. But it doesn't matter now, does it?
So, when the voice, the main voice, says I'm assuming, like, from what I understand, the voices have always been with Senua. Like, always, from what I understand. So it's like, I'm assuming is the voice saying, like, I've been with her whole life, or whatever. and I don't talk much. And I also, from what I understand here, I think Senua can hear the voices, and so she can hear this commentary. I imagine she tunes it out because it probably gets pretty old pretty quickly. So it's like, especially if he was always with you, I imagine that you're very used to it. Anyway, so I imagine that she tunes it out.
Her torch is going out. No, it's not. It's going out soon.
Oh, don't say that.
She's too slow. It's not going to burn out. The darkness will come again.
Uh-oh. Hang on, I'm actually close to it, though. Oh, God. Take your time, Senua. Take your time. Oh, hang on. Oh, thank heavens. Oh, that's not what I... it's fine. I didn't want to do that. I was doing this. Okay. Okay, so I am still in the main area. Okay. Right. No one panic. The secret here is to not let it get to you. No one panic. He's just trying to spook you. He's trying to spook us, guys. It's not real. Alright, obviously this is where that's where I came in to light these torches. Alright, let's just refresh our light here. Okay, just gonna bathe in the light for a minute. I don't know if our torch actually goes out, but now I'm concerned that it does. So obviously that's shut. Okay. So, alright, yeah, so I don't know if our torch actually goes out or not, but I'm concerned it does. The voices freaked me out saying so. So let's get close to the light. I don't know if that actually matters, but I feel like it does. Now, at one point we were close to one of them, but then they started talking about the torch going out, and it scared me, and I panicked. So we haven't gone down this way yet, but I want to get back to where that other area was. This time, obviously, running the whole way. Okay, not that way. Okay. There we go. Aha. Here? I don't know. I'm close in here, but there's, like, it's a little hard when you can't see anything. No one panic. See, but now the letters are gone, though. And that's the weird thing, is like, obviously it shows up, but only in here. Oh. There's lights in here. There, that makes sense.
Hidden in plain sight. She has it.
Okay.
You have it. Keep going.
Beautiful. Okay. There's one. Alright. So now the other thing that strikes me initially...
They're meaningless. What if you collect them and there's nothing behind the door?
You know, guys, voices, if there's nothing behind the door and after I light them, we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Alright, that's where I walked in initially.
Your mother. Is dead.
Alright, that's chained shut, but obviously we've already been that way, technically. Alright. At some point I do want to try going south, or going like down on that spiral staircase at some point. But I just want to make sure there's nothing super obviously amazing back here. Because this looks important. I saw that torch already. Don't say that. What in the holy... Wow, could you please stop hurting me? Alright, good God. Bad timing to use my focus and then have him go smoke mode on me. Okay, nice sleep attack. Wish I could do that. Oh. I was about to say, I've seen that move. Come on. Finally. Okay. That was a nasty surprise. Somewhere in here. Thank you.
She's lighting the torch. Not gonna help.
That was a nasty surprise. They're just like, oh hey, suddenly you're in combat. Upside. Clearly I remember how to fight. After the nasty surprise of being like, what's happening? Okay. There's obviously one of the marks on the floor, by the way, written in blood. I just have to figure out how to get up top enough.
You're wrong.
Okay. Get all these lit. Lovely. Oh my gosh, this room feels like the safest thing in the world in comparison. Okay. Aww.
She has it. She did it. She's done it. Well done.
This place. It reminds her of the isolating, suffocating darkness that she lived through as a young girl. Imprisoned in her room at night. The faces in the dark, coming through the walls. She once thought everyone could see them. I mean, that's what children say all the time, isn't it? That there are monsters in the dark. By the time she realized that only she could see them, her father, Zimbel, could see the monster in her.
Yes, well, her father sounds like a monster himself, personally.
The beast is back.
Alright. Keep her going. Stay alive, homie, Light. Nothing I can do.
She'll have to go under.
She can't.
She has to.
She can't.
The torch will come out.
Don't let the torch go out.
She can do it.
She can't do it.
The light's gone out.
It has gone out.
Run! Get through it as quick as you can. The panic is here.
What was that?
We're good. We're fine. Alright, let's go.
Stop! 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 Stay there.
Stay in the light.
You have to rest here on the side.
Okay. Well, this is a little obvious.
Next light. Let's go quickly. Run.
I don't have a torch anymore.
Fire.
Ooh, fire.
How she gets it. Fire. She has to go towards it. Light. She won't make it. Forget she's too weak. She will. She has to make it.
Okay.
Where's the torch? Take it. It'll keep you safe. You can see how she can
Now that he can't touch me.
She can find it. Keep the light. She has it. Where is it?
Let's light everything up, because clearly there's a reason to do that. I know, I see them all buzzing around now.
The light will keep us safe. The light
Okay.
will guide you.
Alright. Let's see here. Maybe there's more. There is more. The little voices were so excited, dude. I was like, what? Where? Is it in blood on the floor again? You're right, I don't know voices.
Where is it? What are you waiting for? Oh my God.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Going.
Hey. Yep, it's the reflection in the water. I get it. Got it. Point is, I have all the runes now. Why is that sound being a thing? Okay, so let's say. They didn't say I got it, so.
Do you feel it?
Nope.
The
Don't
beast
feel it.
crawling
I feel
into your
nothing,
mind,
actually.
Searching for weakness.
Nope.
Found your mother and used her to trap you.
Senua is stronger than her mother was. There's nothing to
Did you see
fear.
her die? I don't remember. I was only 5. They told me she escaped the darkness, that she's with the gods. But what if they lied? What if the darkness took her and trapped her here?
Depends if you trust whatever they said, you know? I would say. Alright. Okay.
Where is her? It's just another.
It's a trap. The beast is coming.
Oh, boy.
What?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You've lost it. It's over.
The darkness is back. You've lost him. You've lost him. Get out. Get to the light.
Without his head, you will never bring his soul back. His fate is sealed.
Uh-oh. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that was his head, dude.
With your weakest. The time you suffered as a child at the hands of your father Zindo while you pined for Dillian.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember the darkness, Senua?
Always. Darkness is my friend.
The beast is bringing it back.
That's not good.
Mother, why did you leave me?
That is a good question.
This darkness. It's spreading. Father's keeping me away from the others. Away from Dillian. I won't give up. I'm not going to rot in here. I'm going to find Dillian.
Hell yeah. Fight the power. He can't keep you locked in here like an animal. Alright. Now is the time. We must go find his head. I will find Dillion. I will get his head back. Upside, I mean, odds are he didn't feel it. He probably didn't feel a thing. I'm sure he's fine. They're probably pointing that out, being like, hey, you can see him. But like, man, all I see is lots of rock. But I'm certain, but I know he's down there. You think I should like hop down? Okay, I was about to say I don't think I can, but I tried and it didn't let me. So clearly I'm not supposed to do that. All right, we gotta go get his head back. Ooh, a torch. Oh yes. Quickly.
The beast is down there.
I don't care if the beast is down there. I've got to get Dillion's head back. Without him, I can't save it. I can't save his soul without his head. Dillion!
She lost it and she has to find it.
Dillion? That's not it. Dillion? Well, at least I was ready this time. Wrong button. Nasty spawn for you, huh, buddy? Oh God. And a fast guy? Are you having a laugh?
Quickly get up! They're coming! It's not over! It's not over! She's injured. She can still do it. Behind you. She's injured. Silence. She will die. Stop. Take him down! Take him down now! He's gone! Behind you! Behind you! Behind you! Finish this! Don't give up! Don't give up! The mirror focuses on Croatia. It's coming back. Focus! You can do this. Focus.
So, this game is hard. It's very hard. So I put it in Crybaby Easy Mode because I don't feel like having to try. That's why. Alright. So even though I turn into a bitch anytime anything gets remotely difficult, and that fills me with more hate than I can possibly describe to you, That's just where I'm at in life. You just cave anytime anything is remotely challenging. Annoying as it is, that is the way it is. What the hell's the point of this? Oh. Oh, look at that. A fire. Well, this looks intentional. I mean, looking intentional doesn't really change anything if it doesn't mean anything to me, so whatever. Maybe I go to the other side and then I can look up at it or something. Let's give that a shot. Because it does look intentional, like, suspiciously so. Hang on a minute. Almost. Yep. It was intentional. Anyway. So yeah, I am sorry that I get all annoyed. I'll definitely mute my audio for that fight. I'll do several cuts of me dying several times and it'll be fine. Anyway, so I am sorry that I get super annoyed, that I get super whiny when anything gets remotely difficult. It's a more recent development. I used to be able to just like muscle through, but recently I just can't. Like, recently I just can't. I just get 0 to annoyed really, really quickly. But I'm kind of at this weird spot in my life where I have no fuse. It's like being a teenager again. I don't know why. And so it's not fun. It's not fun. So I have some methods and some ideas on what might be causing it, and I'm hoping I can get that sorted in my personal life in the next while. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because life is kind of hell. So I'm hoping I can get it sorted, and when I do, this personal issue that I'm dealing with, hopefully my videos will be better and I won't be such a bitch. Here's hoping. Alright. Open sesame. A torch. Uh-oh. I gotta save Dillian, it doesn't matter. Dillian!
Her father tried to help her, but she wouldn't listen.
Alright.
He was doing his best.
Doing his best, my ass. Whoever that voice was, cast him out. Whoever that voice was, vote her off the island.
Zinbel was right. Zinbel was trying to save her from the dark.
No, he wasn't.
But she wouldn't listen.
Never choose.
And now
She should have known. She should have thought.
why doesn't
Rain the dwarf's sole desire is to possess this dragon's accursed treasure, and he uses Sigurd to reclaim it. He tells Sigurd the story of Fafnir's gold, and the good-hearted hero promises to slay the dragon if Rain would forge a strong sword for him. Sigurd remembers that his father once possessed a sword given to him by Odin. Odin broke the sword to bring about Sigmund's death, but Sigurd's mother still has the pieces. And so Rain reforges the famous sword. Sigurd uses the sword first to avenge his father, and then he and Rain go in search of Fafnir.
Oh, yes.
She will be trapped.
the beast has the head and he's
All right.
using it?
Once she gets down there, she'll never come out.
All right, voices. Let's have some confidence, okay? I've beat other bosses before, and that was before I put it on crybaby mode, so we'll be fine.
She's falling for it.
All right, I'll activate that in a minute.
The lights run out. She'll die.
There we go. All right.
She can't.
She'll die.
The dragon Fafnir is so large and deadly that it would be impossible to kill him face to face. But each day, Fafnir crawls across the heath to find water. So Sigurd digs a pit in the dragon's path and lies in wait in it. When Fafnir slithers overhead, Sigurd sinks his sword into the dragon up to the hilt. Sigurd leaps from the pit, and Fafnir sees his killer. He warns Sigurd that the treasure will lead to his death, as it led to the death of all who owned it. Sigurd replies that death comes to all men, and every man would want to be wealthy until that day. And he takes the treasure.
Ah, yes. That's how it goes. Okay, I need like a weird looking M. Well, that's probably intentional. Alright, but I gotta get through the water. But I'll need fire over there to do it. So when I activate it, where am I gonna go? There's no light over there. Ah. I have to light that up there somehow. Oh, well, there you go. How about that? Blind dash of suicide. That's how you do that. That was a really solid guess on my part. Where the hell am I going? Again, this doesn't matter. Like, this doesn't help. I don't have fire. Maybe there's another way to get over there. And maybe I activated that bridge and now I can cross and get to it around this way? Out of curiosity? Because obviously that waterfall is not going anywhere. So it's like, so maybe this leads around and now I can activate it. That's my thinking right there. So maybe if you were a smarter person than I, which most of humanity probably is, then yep, that's the ticket. Anyway, so yeah, if you were a smarter man than I, you probably would have discovered that. Bridge first, and then you would have known to have run around that way. You know. You would have known that, but I didn't know it was there, so I just said blind charge and hope. So, like I said, if you were smarter than me, you would have figured that out easier. Easier than I.
Keep going, keep going. Stop.
Relax, people. There's a torch right here. There we go. We got it. Alright, let's go. Dillion's head. I mean, it's not going anywhere, but we have to go get it. No one wants to be in hell longer than they have to.
She can't help but think of him. A tender guiding flame in a world so black. The longer it burned, the more she convinced herself that there was nothing beyond its reach. How little separates us from what we fear.
Keep the torch alight.
Although Sigurd kills the dragon, Rain wants to keep Fafnir's gold all for himself. Rain also wants the strength and wisdom of the dragon, so he drinks its blood and asks Sigurd to roast Fafnir's heart for him. Sigurd does so, but when he touches the roasted heart to see if it is done, he burns his finger. Without thinking, he licks his finger and tastes the dragon's blood. In that moment, he understands the language of birds and hears them talk nearby.
Alright.
Go quicker. Keep the torch up. Keep the torch alight.
Trying, people. No one panic. They win if you panic. Oh my god, literally on our belly, dude. Oh, gross. Oh, it's about to get real claustrophobic in here.
I hear you.
Keep the torch up! Keep the torch up!
Coming for you.
Oh no. It's worse. There was water in the tunnel, guys.
Cillian, I see you. The beast has Cillian. No.
Alright, beast. Let's freaking go, pig boy.
I can smell you.
Ah, I got him.
You betrayed your gods.
I am leaving with him.
You turned your back on me. That is why Dillion will rot in hell.
I guess we'll see. Senua is sick of his shit. I'd rather not. You are really large. Did anyone ever tell you that? Alright. He's harder than he looks. Ow. Hey, I'm in my animation now. You stop it. Alright, so it kind of looks like... Oh my lord. Yeah, I know. Even though I activated it, he got me anyway. Yeah, for now. Boy, that's scary. There's always blood. Have you seen me fight? Of course I'm injured. You think the darkness is your ally? I was born into it. Molded by it. By the time I saw the light, I was already a man. By then, there was nothing to me but blinding. Or blinded, I don't actually know the line.
Puking darkness. Breathing. The darkness is everywhere now.
Oh god. I'm just rolling, I have no idea where he is. There he is, I saw him briefly. I was just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just guessing here, obviously. I can't see shit. I know you're back there, I can hear you. So let's say it slowed down, I felt it slow down, so I'm assuming you're right there. Woo! Easy now, boy. Ah! That was just to let you know I could if the circumstances were slightly different. I would be ready to attack you. Feel that, huh? You punk? Tame the beast, defeat Fafnir. Fenrir, not Fafnir, whatever. Didn't earlier they call him Fafnir, or was that my brain just auto-correcting like it is? Well, that's not good.
People think of evil as an unnatural, invisible force, and so invoke the gods for protection. But evil can come from the hand behind the gods. familiar hand. Cold and cruel.
He tried to fix her with his rituals. Kept her trapped in that hole.
She couldn't say which was worse. The darkness.
Or the monster that her father had become. She couldn't fight them both. And so she left, headed for the one ray of light that shone down on her.
And we came back and we
If
got
she'd
him, though.
stayed, she wouldn't have survived. But
Maybe Dillian would still be alive.
I'm so sorry, Lena. She will save his soul. Even if this time.
She can't save her own.
But we're gonna try, damn it. We're gonna try.
Forgive me, Senua. I know you have no reason to trust me anymore.
Listen.
But believe this. It was my mission to make you hate. To hate the darkness with a passion so great it would focus your mind on this quest. Without it, I feel you left those trapped. All this time, I've wanted to protect you from the truth that would have destroyed you a long time ago. But you have conquered your darkness at every turn. You deserve to see behind the veil of darkness.
Wow.
Take me to the mountains. As deep as we can go.
That was awfully big of the shadow.
Stand in your way.
She has to trust him.
You will not survive what is in there.
I know.
Yeah, this does feel like a one-way trip, doesn't it?
She's come this way.
Boy, it sure does. Alright. That was surprisingly mature of the shadow, you know? Actually had my back a little bit for a change. That was nice. Also, good God. Oh my God. Wow.
What?
Hella's gate.
She's there.
Mother, I won't let the darkness trick me again. I know you're safe with the gods. I can feel Hella's gaze, searching for secrets inside of me. Secrets that even I can't see. I'm not here to fight my past. I'm here for Dillian.
That's right.
I will fulfill my vow, whatever the cost.
Hell yeah, dude. It's like a freaking Slayer's. It's like a Slayer's oath, man. That's awesome.
No, she can't. It's too dangerous. She has this. She can see. She can't cross the bridge. It's broken. She has to fix it. It's too dangerous. She's done it before. She can't.
Let's try this way. I mean, the voices are saying the bridge is broken, and I did see a broken bridge, so I assume it's just broken behind me.
There must be a way.
The Northmen say the world will come to an end. They call this Ragnarok, the destiny of the gods. First, there will be a terrible winter, 3 years long. Then, mankind will turn on itself. Brothers will fight each other to the death, and people will forget what they owe their kindred. Times will be hard. Crimes will be great.
Did you mean the 21st century?
An age of axes and swords. The wind will blow through abandoned halls. Wolves will walk where children played. The world will fall into ruin.
Well, give it time, buddy. I'm sure that'll happen any day now. Give it time, man. Have you seen how humanity acts? Should be any day. Don't fall now. I don't want to snap an ankle. Or both of them. This looks like an arena. Oh. Maybe I'm just jaded. Maybe not. We gotta save Dillian. I do feel like it's a one-way quest, though. I do feel like Senua's probably not gonna survive this. I imagine. And I obviously have... I mean, I feel like she knows it, too. Let's see here. I gotta make it all line up. Oh, I think I have to go way far left. Yep. There we go. There's part of it. Okay, let's look at another one. It'll be from over there. It's progress. So yeah, it looks like I have to hit all these different points and build the bridge so I can actually make it across. I think. And I think this is a dead end. Like, I don't think there's any other way to go here. I think we just have to go back. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. This still feels like an arena right in front of me. Yep. Alright, let's calm down. I was hitting dodge, I was mid-animation. Oh, that was good timing for that guy to go all invisi mode on me. Oh, they both are. Lovely. Alright. I told you that was an arena. I freaking called that.
How will she do it? What will she do?
I told you it was an arena.
How's she going to find it?
It was very obvious.
Where does that keep us?
You know, gonna be honest, like, initially, I felt kind of guilty with putting the game on easy. And I was like, oh, it's because I'm an idiot, it's because I'm super bad, it's because this and that and the other thing. Like, the only thing I've noticed, like, that easy does, it makes the combat easier. Like, and already, like, a lot of the guys feel like damage sponges a little bit. Like, it feels a little damage spongy, so I'm okay with it, because, like, you know, I don't know. It's not that bad. Like, I still have to figure out the puzzles. I still see the story. Like, you know, like, you know, a lot of, like, the thinking parts aren't any different. It's just, like, the actual combat. It just, like, all it feels like it does, it just lowers the health of the enemies, so they're less damage spongy, is what I feel like that does for me. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's like,
No one can bargain with her.
I don't feel that guilty. I feel less guilty with each passing minute. Let's put it that way.
No.
Okay, so one of them I think was way up top, I think. But obviously we must keep going, because clearly we ain't going to make it. Or, you know, we're not high enough.
First soul.
I like how the voices are thinking about different ways I could try bargaining with Hela. Not that it will work.
She can find her. She can see it. The bridge.
Okay.
She can't cross the bridge. It's broken.
She has to fix it.
It's too dangerous.
She's done it before. You have to fight her.
She can't.
The final battle.
Get this back. It's the final task.
Yes, it is.
Ah, she's acknowledging the spirits.
This isn't just a broken bridge, is it?
Probably not.
Mother, you showed me how to see further. To see the hidden wonders in our world and explore new paths into the unknown. To lead so that others may follow, or to warn so that they may avoid. That is our gift and
There's
our
another
duty.
piece.
I'm not going to look away in fear anymore.
Hell yeah. This journey has been a very large growing experience for poor Senua.
She must see.
Alright, I think it was just that one bridge was the point of this.
Secrets.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So that was that one. So now we must find one more piece, I think. Or was that all of them? No, I think there is one more piece. But isn't there like a... It looks like there was a little pathway over here, though. Ah.
The Northmen say the gods will fight their last battle at Ragnarok. Their watchmen will blow the horn that can be heard through the whole world. And Odin will speak with the severed head of Mimir, which gives him good counsel. The land of the giants will thunder with the sound of their army on the move. The gods will assemble. The dwarves will leave their stones. The frost giants will come from the east. The Midgard serpent will turn up the waves. Eagles will scream and tear at the corpses with their yellow beaks. The ship of the dead will set sail.
Sounds spooky. Alright, is there like a down? No. I mean, we could try crossing, but I think this other part over here is not done, right? Am I imagining that? No. Yeah, it's not done.
She's found a way. There's a way. She can see. She must align herself. She can do
Okay. So this is where this is.
She aligns herself. It's there.
Ah, okay. Well, one of the voices said it, but yes, it is there. So I must find a way to get there somehow. Ah ha ha! It's not the only thing. That's why there's an extra like illusion right there. I was wondering why. I mean, you guys saw me look at it. Assuming I kept the footage, which I probably did. Probably. But yeah, I did stare at it thinking like, why is this other illusion? That makes sense. I am a fan. Okay. So, directionally, I think this should be the right way. Alright, upstairs. Ignore the fact that I can poke the camera through the wall. Ignore that. Anyway, this game otherwise is jaw-dropping. Like, it's very, very pretty. It's a very pretty game. And there were some moments that were very, very spooky. That definitely felt way more like an actual straight-up traditional horror game. I don't want to go in there. If I can help it, we're going to put that off as long as possible. Uh-oh.
The Northmen say that at Ragnarok, the gods will face a ship full of their foes, which Loki has steered to Asgard. It carries the fire giants, the wolf that will eat the sun, and all kinds of dark creatures. Surt will join them with his sword of fire. The cliffs will crash. Trolls will walk the land. Men will tread the road to hell, and the heavens will split open.
I think our boy needs to. I think our boy. What's his name? Dirt? I don't. It's not. It's not Dirt. I don't remember his name, but I think he needs to have a lie down. Oh, big guy. Woo! That boy has some reach with that move.
Finish this now. Okay, you're stuck. Attack.
Bad spawn for you, pal. That was a really rough spawn for that guy. Well, see, you know, the other reason, too, that I don't feel as guilty as I once did as far as like putting the difficulty down is because even right there, you guys saw, like I was dodging moves, and it's not like I'm like, you know, just like trash at like the combat. Like it's not like I'm, you know, I mean clearly like when there's a lot of guys, it can get difficult. Like, but I don't know, it just like I still have to do all the fundamentals. Like I still have to dodge their attacks and stuff. Their attacks still hurt me. Like I don't know. Like I feel like it just makes it a little bit less grindy as far as the actual regular sauce combat goes. So. I don't know. I still don't feel that guilty, and the farther I go, the more I'm like, yeah, I think I'm right. And again, whatever. It could just be me convincing myself that why I feel better, or why it's not that bad, or whatever. And in hindsight, it might have been different if like if I had done it from the beginning, then you know, because then, well, like it's whatever, right? Because I'm just doing it for fun. But like, I don't know. I know a huge part of it stems back to my mood and where I'm at, like emotionally right now, and so it's like a lot of it would be like very different. I would be very different if things were different with me mentally right now. So, but hopefully I can get some things sorted in my personal life, and then we can, hopefully it won't be as bad, you know.
The Northmen said which God will do battle.
All right, gotta be honest. Kind of tired of hearing about Ragnarok, not gonna lie.
Killed, but his son will avenge him and plunge his sword into the heart of the beast. Freyr will face Surt, but he had given his sword away for love, and without it, he cannot defend himself against the flames. Thor will smite the Midgard serpent to no avail. The sun will grow black, the earth will sink into the sea, the stars will disappear, fire and water will meet, steam will shoot up, flames will play against the sky. The heavens and earth and all the world will be burned. All the gods will be dead, and the warriors of Valhalla and the people everywhere.
Sounds very depressing.
Senua, prepare yourself for Ragnarok, for it is nigh.
How the hell are you supposed to prepare for that? Oh, we're fighting our way there.
Don't let them get behind you. Let them surround you. Behind you. She's got to die. She's hurt. She won't make it.
Oh, how about that? Was there less of them that time, or did I die at the very last guy last time? I feel like there was just more of them.
I can sense her.
Where is she going?
Yeah, you know.
She's getting closer to him.
Well, let's do it.
She's going to die.
Probably gonna mute my audio again for that one.
Wait,
What?
what happens when she goes?
What happens to us?
What happens to us?
Well, I hope you don't go anywhere. You're like my favorite part.
I don't.
We'll all die someday.
I don't want to die.
And when everyone's gone, even the gods will die.
We don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
Senua, stop. Turn back.
Stop. Stop her.
Stop.
Senua, stop.
What happens to us?
The real irony would be if I did stop. I'm afraid, my friends, death comes to us all.
Stop.
That's unfortunate, though. I really like the voices. They're like one of the best parts.
Sorry. I didn't ask you to be a part of me. If you don't want to die with me, then leave me alone.
I don't want to die. Please stop. 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 You'll never come back if you go there.
There is nothing to go back to.
We only have each other now. Don't abandon me.
Everyone suffers. They were right about me.
Listen to me, not them. They were afraid. Like children scared of the dark.
So was I.
They made up monsters to fill the void. That doesn't make them real.
They made them real.
No!
Follow your soul and let go of the Senua of old. For there lies your weakness, and the darkness will find it.
Well, we're on the other side now. Dillian, are you here? In this creepy netherworld?
It's not like the old stories, is it? The noble warrior facing evil in search of victory and honor. Clear dividing lines. No. Oh, this place is not quite like that. It's as if it knows that true torment lies within. Memories you cannot defeat, cannot escape. This is her hell.
Silly rabbit. Every waking minute is hell. Everyone knows that. Spooky. Dillian? Are you here? Is that you?
Wait, Mother.
Oh. Nope, not Dillian.
Don't be like this. Oh, turn away, Senua. Turn away, Senua!
Do you see it, Senua? Do you see the darkness? Faces fear and suffering. You can see it.
I remember it clearly now.
She has nothing to fear anymore. The gods have saved your mother. Through my hand.
You killed her.
It is the will of the gods.
Fuck the gods! You did this to her! Why?
This is what happens when you listen to the voices of the underworld. They crawl into your soul and rot you from the inside. Defy the gods like your mother, and the darkness will come for you too. You understand, son?
I do understand.
You cursed me with your own madness. I was just a child. You created this darkness! You created this darkness so you could hide behind it!
Only suffering brings salvation. It is the way of the gods.
This just got way, way creepier.
It was all a lie.
Which part? Right.
You are a lie! She didn't defy the gods. She defied you. And so you killed her.
You didn't pray to the gods. You prayed to your mother. Your mother, who was too weak to fight the darkness and abandoned you.
You tortured her. You killed her. You are the
Those rituals, the years of isolation, the pain that still haunts you. It was the only way to fight the curse within you.
You're a liar.
The darkness is inside you and it will destroy you.
You're a liar!
No, Senua. The darkness is here. You cannot wish it away. And it will watch as you draw your last dying gasp.
I won't let you kill me.
Hit me again. Do it. Nope.
Watch out.
Wow, just a one-shotting him? There is something very large beside me.
see through your darkness. You're a liar and a murderer. And if you really are Hela, then I have a sword here that can kill a god.
Oh, there you are. I was just looking around for trouble. Oh, I don't think that's you. Right. Ah, it's an illusion. Charge across it.
Running forward, moving backwards to wallow in your miserable past. You're making a mistake searching for Dillion. The same mistake that killed him in the first place.
Get up, Senua. We're so close. The end of our journey.
I'm trying to save you from yourself. You still believe it is a lie. The plague of darkness, the butchering of Dillion by the Norsemen. You saw it yourself.
You told everyone I was cursed. They believed you. I believed you.
Tell me, Senua, where is Dillion's soul if the darkness is a lie? How you saved him?
He's here. I know he's here.
I will not stop. Pick up the sword.
Dillion, I know you're here. Hold on. I'll find you.
That was a dark version of that beast from earlier. Right. Whoa! He changed into the other boss. Oh, I see what's happening here. Gotta stop activating the power. It doesn't seem to do anything. Alright. Alright, boys. Can we, like, calm down? Like that, huh?
Where is he? You're trying to trick me again with your lies. I know he's here. You took him from me. You have him.
Dillion is gone. Dillion is dead. Let him go now.
Or what? What can he do to me that you haven't already?
That's a good point.
Fight me. Come on.
You betrayed your own father. You betrayed the gods in search of Dillion, in search of love. Look where that's got you. Let go of your battle. Let go of redemption. Let go of Dillion. Don't let your darkness hurt anyone else.
Thank you, voice.
Behind you.
Alright, calm down. Stop it.
Let go of your battle. You don't have to fight behind you. Watch out. Watch out. Behind you. Be careful, Senua. Let go of your battle. Let go.
Stop. You're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. Behind you. Careful.
Let go of your battle.
Never!
You've done enough.
It's never enough.
I'm going to die.
I am going to die. You are so right. Ugh. Ow. There's too many.
Let go, Senua.
Never. You can't can't make me stay down. Ugh.
Behind you. Behind you.
I got that other dude before he got me, though.
Let go, Senua.
Never!
Let go of your
Never!
You're going to die.
I am absolutely going to die. You're not wrong. I mean, how many did I kill there? Like, 1,000? I do believe it's scripted, though. After a certain point, I think it's scripted. She doesn't look so good, man. Dillion! It's his head, that's always, that part's hella, but the head on the floor, that's Dillion's. Please don't stab me with my own sword.
You're alive. And there's no doubt. And you never took him from me, did you? And I can't save Dillion. Is that what you want me to believe? After all you've done to me? And to him?
Haha, she's not believing this crap.
You're not a liar. But you're a liar! You crawled into me to confuse me and deceive me. But I know it's him. I know you have him.
Hell yeah, she's not gonna get lied to. She doesn't believe these lies.
I'll give you my life. That's what you want, isn't it? My soul. Take it. I'll be a slave for you. I'll fight with you at Ragnarok. because I've got nothing left. No fear. No hate. No quest. Nothing. You will have no power over me.
I learned the hard way to not be afraid of death, Senua. Because a life without loss is one without love. You turn your back on death, and all you can see is the shadow that it casts. The longer you hide from it, the longer the shadow grows until all you can see is darkness. When our time comes, we must look death in the eye and embrace it as a friend. Only then can we let go of our fear. And emerge from our darkness.
Never forget what it is like to see the world as a child, Senua. Every autumn leaf is like a work of art. Every rolling cloud a moving picture. Every day, a new story. We too emerge from this magic, like a wave from the ocean, only to return to the sea. Do not mourn the waves, the leaves, and the clouds. Even in darkness, the wonder and the beauty of this world never leaves us. It is always there. waiting to be seen again.
All my voices are alive and they're all happy.
This is where my story once began. And so it has to end here. Because I cannot see further than this.
Follow us. We have another story to tell.
My friend, go with her. This now will be your story to witness.
Hell yeah. Wow, what a story. Oh my god, dude, that finale. Oh my god. That ending, though. Wow, this was the finale. I didn't even realize that. Okay. So, overall, it was awesome. The story was really cool. So I feel like the ending there was like, she had to let go of Dillion, and she had to let go of her quest in order to like move on. Like, and I feel like that was kind of the message, is because like Dillion even said it at the end part there. He's like, you know, you have to, you know, you shouldn't like fear death. You know, you should greet death like an old friend or whatever. And so, you know, he's like, because if you didn't, you know, if you know, like nothing gain, like nothing lose, nothing gain, or whatever that saying is. But it's like, you know, like you would have to know what, I don't know, like. You need to, you know, not fear death, and you needed it to move on and to heal rather than holding on to this quest. And like with her, I can't remember her name now, the main character, whatever her name is, Senua. With Senua, I feel like that was kind of her lesson, is she had to learn to let go so that she could move on and realize that she does have a life to live past Dillion or whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't know, like that was super cool. That was super cool. So yeah, definitely that was awesome. That was super awesome. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Heaven knows I did. That was great. And yeah, and I feel like that, you know, that it was a great story. It was a great story. I sometimes found the combat not like annoying, like they did anything wrong. I just wasn't super good at it. I wasn't incredibly good at it. Like it wasn't awful, but like I felt like turning the difficulty down was okay, just because like the enemies feel kind of damage spongy otherwise. Like, and otherwise, like, I mean, you guys, you know, the combat for all the previous, any episode that was not this episode, the previous episodes was a lot longer, and it was a lot more difficult. Like I feel like I was cutting through hundreds of guys and they just didn't die. Like you wailed on them forever. Whereas on easy, it felt a little more balanced. You're able to just kind of blow through it, and like, you know, you're able to get through it a little easier. And I felt better about the split there. But otherwise, it was a great game. That was an awesome game, and yeah, that was an awesome game. It was quite the ride, and I'm very happy to. Yeah, I'm very happy to have played it. That was super worth it. Now, there is actually a second one. I don't know. Yeah, there is a second one. I don't think it's out yet. But I think that maybe we've seen, I think there's a trailer or something. I don't remember if there's even a trailer or not for sure, to be honest with you. However, there is either a second one being made or it's coming out soon. It's one of the two. It's enough to have a name, at least. I think it's called, like, you know, Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga or something. But, you know, regardless, though, this was awesome, and at some point, when the second one does release, if it's not already released, but at some point we'll play the second one whenever it's an option and whenever the stars align that way. We'll definitely play the second one, because this one was great. This was a lot of fun, and I was kind of whiny throughout a lot of it, and I do apologize about that. But yeah, and I do apologize about that, but you know, like I said, that's not nearly so much to do with any of the games I play. That's not their fault. That's something I have going on personally. I am in a weird thing, a weird spot right now. So I will try to fix what's going on with me, and I have some ideas of some of what it might be. And then yeah, once hopefully I can get that sorted and I can do better commentary again, because the last like year my commentary has just been kind of not great, so by and large. And so I'm hoping I can get back on track, and that'll be hopefully that is the case, and we can kind of make better content again, and I will be a lot more fun to be around. And I would be super okay with that. Regardless, though, this was an awesome game. It was super worth playing. I super enjoyed it, and I loved it. And I loved the story. I loved the Celtic and everything else. That was just awesome. And the journey to hell and all that. That was really cool. So I have a couple of ideas of what I can do next. It's interesting that at the bottom of this, if you'd like to find out more about psychosis and mental health difficulties, visit hellbladehelp.info. So obviously there was a lot of mental health stuff, cooking around in this game. A lot of it was obviously like psychosis and stuff. So very insane, very insane. So yeah, I have a few ideas as to what the next playthrough is going to be, on what we're going to do next. And I am excited for those. So I am kicking around a couple of ideas. Tomorrow is Tuesday. It is my Monday. It is the first day of my work week. So recording should be normal as far as I know. And so hopefully we can get to part 1 of whatever our new side game is going to be. Like I said, kicking around a couple of ideas, so we'll see which one ends up actually sticking. But it should be really cool. What the heck is this? Contains spoilers. Yeah. I obviously we just completed it.
Stormy seas and lost souls.
Who is it?
She's dreamt of this before.
It's coming. Is it?
They say dreams are visions of our memories, thoughts and fears, as seen by our inner eye. What if each one of us is always dreaming, even when awake? And we only see what our inner eye creates for us. Is this what hell is? A world shaped by Senua's nightmares. Maybe that's why people fear seeing the world through her eyes.
Yes, she's scared.
Because if you believe that Senua's reality is twisted, you must accept that yours might be too.
Weird. What the heck is this? Senua's Psychosis.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is a video game about Senua, a Celtic warrior on a vision quest into Viking territory. But what sets our hero Senua apart is that she suffers from severe psychotic mental illness.
He knows she's getting closer. He can feel her coming closer. She's getting
The original idea for Hellblade was to create a classic hero's journey, a journey of suffering, but one where the fantasy world is not another planet or alternate universe, but a world that is constructed in Senua's mind. But to do so would mean putting psychotic mental illness at the center of the experience, a subject that is still considered taboo, and a challenge that was both terrifying and
Dang, though, this art is cool. How do I get this art?
exciting in equal measure. In Hellblade, the starting point was a newly discovered Celtic goddess called Senua in Ashwell, Hertfordshire. When first discovered, her name was thought to be Senua, a name which I liked and kept. I wondered if Senua might have been a Celtic warrior like Boudica, who stood up to the Romans. While the Romans had conquered all of Europe, there was a group of Celts up in the furthest reaches of the Roman Empire that could not be conquered, the Picts. And so the Romans built a wall, called Hadrian's Wall, that spans across Britain from sea to sea to keep the Pictish barbarians at bay. The Picts were known for their war paint, painted on with woad, and their matted hair clumped with lime. And so Senua would be a barbarian Pict in this image.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
don't leave home much.
Oh, Zeno's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait.
Orkney is off the coast of Scotland and was inhabited by the Picts, steeped in history and mystery, and so I made Orkney Senua's home and set the stage for a crisis. In the late 8th century, the first Vikings landed on the Orkney Islands. The population of the Picts crashed thereafter, replaced by the Norsemen of the 9th century. Were they wiped out? We don't know for sure, but it would seem likely given the reputation of the Vikings. The Northmen's brutality is legendary. High-ranking leaders and chieftains of the tribes they conquered were often offered as sacrifice to their gods. The most brutal of these sacrifices was known as the Blood Eagle. I imagine Senua as a young female warrior who returns home from exile to find her partner, Dillion, brutally sacrificed to a Norse god by these hellish warriors from a faraway land. I imagine the horror of this moment and how it would have dragged her deep into mental torment.
No!
I came to learn that the Celts had a sophisticated and nuanced perspective on the nature of mental disorder. One term they used was gelt. A gelt is a man or woman who has been driven mad by a curse, battle trauma, or grief. The gelt would take to a life in the woods in search of penance, punishment, and purgation. And so Senua became a gelt, cursed by darkness, looking for redemption in the wilds. Another word the Celts used in reference to mental disorders was druth, meaning fool, or liar, one who utters the words of God. They tell of the mad sinner who flees battle into exile and takes on a beastly nature, growing feathers on his body. The character called Druth in Hellblade is based on a little-known person called Findan, an 8th century Irish Celt who was captured and enslaved by the Vikings, but eventually escaped to Orkney where he became a monk.
I will tell you my stories of hell, if I may walk with you.
Upon meeting Senua, it would be his stories that fuel her quest deep into their world of gods.
The Northmen say the world will come to an end.
The sun will grow black, the earth will sink into the sea, the stars will disappear, fire and water will meet, flames will play against the sky, the heavens and earth and all the world will be burned, all the gods will be dead, and the warriors of Valhalla and people everywhere. Senua, prepare yourself for Ragnarok, for it is nigh.
So the stage was set for a new adventure, a journey into the Norse underworld called Hell, a vision quest fueled by madness and myth, a fantasy that was created by Senua's own mind, and one that we would experience through her eyes.
This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left.
To make a game about a warrior with psychotic mental illness as its central theme was fraught with danger. Mental illness such as psychosis is still taboo and rarely acknowledged in a century of cinema, never mind the new medium of games. Where it does feature, it often conflates psychosis and psychopathy associated with a lack of empathy. It is unfortunate that these two words sound so similar that they are used interchangeably in media. I must admit that I didn't have to look very far to discover my own ignorance of the subject. So we reached out to Paul Fletcher, psychiatrist and professor of health neuroscience at University of Cambridge.
Psychosis is a descriptive term, and it refers to having a loss of contact with objective reality. So it's characterized by two main sets of symptoms. One of them is hallucinations, where somebody experiences perceptions when there is no actual objective thing out there to perceive.
Who are you?
And the other is delusions, where somebody comes to very often bizarre, unpleasant, frightening beliefs when there's no good evidence in favor of them.
There's no doubt about it. The source of the darkness is in Helheim, and the goddess Hela holds his soul there.
We reached out to welcome a biomedical research charity that spends billions on research and awareness programs aimed at improving
So
health.
interestingly too, I don't know. I guess I assume I'm going to include all this, but yeah. So it is interesting. So now it makes you wonder. Like, okay, so obviously Senua does have actual psychosis, like, or like actual, severe mental disorders, right? So if she already has this, it makes you wonder how much of her culture and everything that happened to her, like, like her journey going to Helheim, like, did she actually go to all these places, or was, Druth, like, obviously a real person, and then it was like that she'd always struggled with these mental issues that she's always struggled with her whole life, and then when she, like, and then her father was a nut job and abusive or whatever. So then she finds Dillion, and then she latches onto him because he's normal, and he gets her, and he doesn't shun her because of her, even despite her difficulties and stuff. So then it makes you wonder, like, how much of her journey is real versus how much is in her head, and like, but maybe she is able to, like, at the end of it, obviously, she is able, by letting go, she's able to, by letting go, she is able to be better. You know what I mean? And it does make you wonder how much of the journey is in her head. And so that's super interesting. Anyway, I guess I don't know if I'm including all this. I guess part of it depends on how long it is. You know what I mean? If it's like an hour documentary, like, you know what I mean? I don't really want to include the whole thing. So I'm gonna do a quick Google search, and I'm gonna keep playing this, and I'll just see you guys in a second, or I'll start speaking in a second. Either way.
Mental health hasn't always been presented in the media in a way that is particularly helpful. It can be challenging to engage people with the subject matter, and there are a lot of preconceived ideas about mental health, and particularly schizophrenia and psychosis. So we hope our support allows the team to continue to collaborate with Paul Fletcher and with those who have experience of psychosis to create a game that provides a fresh perspective on the condition and allows audiences to engage with it in a way that just wouldn't be possible in any other medium.
What started out as a brief consultation convinced me that we were only scratching the surface of an immensely deep and interesting subject that could enrich and change the very nature of the game.
That's cool, thanks so much. Pleasure, thanks. It's really interesting for me. I'd love to be involved. I think it's fascinating.
Our understanding of psychosis is still very much a mystery, and ways of treating it are still primitive compared to physical illness. After all, it is easy to see the pain and suffering caused by physical diseases or physical trauma. It is not so easy to see the mental suffering and trauma of severe mental illness.
That is the truest statement ever, by the way. Which, like, that's like such a common stigma. Like, I find this all incredibly fascinating. Like, on top of the fact that it was a really cool game that's very in depth, I find the whole thing fascinating mostly just because, like, I struggle with mental illness, like, quite a bit of mental illness actually, and so I find this whole thing very fascinating and very true in general. Because, like, it's very easy when someone gets, like, whatever, has an arm broken, everyone's like, oh, I'm so sorry, your arm's really broken. But if you're a nut job because you're dealing with mental illness like I am, then, then suddenly there's no sympathy. Suddenly it's like, oh, I'm sure he's just lazy. Or, oh, I'm sure he just doesn't, he's just a bad person. He's just this, he's just that. When the real issue is, you're horrifically depressed and horrifically anxious or whatever. You know what I mean? It's very common, and there's more, it's becoming more and more, like, awareness is better than ever and getting better, and I am hopeful that it can continue that path, because as someone who is born with depression and anxiety and probable/possible ADHD, it's rough. It's really rough. There's, like, not a lot of sympathy floating around. Anyway, so I looked it up, and this is actually 25 minutes total. I feel like we've probably already gone 10 or 15. Like, I feel like we've already gone a certain ways. So screw it, man. I'll just include the whole thing. We're just gonna watch it. So if you after the game is over, if you're done, I totally get it. But if you're interested like I am, then sit tight.
But what if we could find a way to see it? Games are capable of drawing you in for hours on end, playing the role of a character who is different from you, experiencing their perspective, and actively involving you in a world that functions with a different set of rules.
See, that is also so true. So this will be longer than 25 minutes too, because if I pause it to give thoughts on things that he says, like, then this will be longer. So if you're interested in any of this, then sit tight. If you're not, I get it. But that's so true. That's actually one, like, legit, all joking aside, like, that's one of the reasons gaming has always been very fascinating to me. It's one of the reasons I latched on to games, because in games, like, it's like, it's just like a movie, but it's interactive. It's a game. It's just like a movie, but like you're a part of it. And so, like, for me, one of the reasons games has always been so fascinating is because you're meeting all these characters. I mean, like, and lots of lessons and lots of, like, life lessons or lots of relationships. Like, you form real bonds or real life lessons learned that you can take away and apply in real life in gaming. And it's always one of the reasons that gaming has been such a fascinating thing, and one of the two things I care the most about in my life is because it's like all the worlds you explore and like all the characters and people you meet and everything. Like, it's always been such a fascinating part of games for me. And so it's just interesting, like, to see that obviously that's the case with lots of people. And so, and but that's very true. It's one of the reasons I love gaming so much as I do.
If we were to represent Senua's psychosis, we would have to simulate voice hearing, a common attribute. But how can we simulate something we have no first-hand experience of?
Really quick, I'm not going to censor that part with that art, because technically on YouTube you can look that stuff up, and it's from other people. So it's like that's technically art, so it's fine, right? Anyway.
Professor Charles Fernyhough, a leading expert in voice hearing from Durham University, offered his help.
Hearing voices is an experience that is usually associated with severe mental illness, and crucially we know that hearing voices is a part of ordinary life for many people who don't meet the criteria for mental illness.
Yeah. Oh, that's not him in real life.
We know voices vary according to where they appear in space. Voices can appear far away in the distance, they can appear right there in your ear, they can seem to be coming from inside your head.
Based on the information Professor Fernyhough provided, I put together a sound brief and invited some actors to the studio. We recorded the actors using a binaural microphone, which records the 3D spatial position of sound, replicating the way sound is heard by human ears. It gives you an incredible sense that the person you are listening to is right there beside you. Rachel Waddingham from the Voice Collective came to our studio with 2 young voice hearers to speak to our team. We talked at length about their experiences, and they listened to our tests, giving us feedback on how we could improve on it.
Everyone hates her. She's cursed.
It's very hard to represent what this experience is like, partly because it's such a personal, intense, emotional experience. It's testament to how Ninja Theory have been listening to what the researchers are saying, but also, crucially, listening to the experts by experience. What they've come up with is so compelling. It's by far the best representation I've heard of what these experiences are like.
The voices were the best part of the whole thing. They were like my favorite part, dude.
Other common attributes of psychosis are visions and flashbacks. We met with Recovery College East, who work with and care for people recovering from severe mental disorders. A group of service users gave us their first-hand account of what they experience.
Sometimes when the vision or what we're seeing is too much, we become small until eventually we perhaps don't see anything.
The people we spoke to, the stories they told, were fascinating, harrowing and mind-boggling. The reality of what people experienced was vivid, far exceeding what I could possibly have imagined. We went away itching to represent some of these visions and flashbacks in the game.
Everything seems to be coming closer and bigger all the time.
Don't you know how I wanna feel deeper?
Everything is in bits, like a photograph that's torn and put together again. If you move, it's frightening. Which obviously these are massive parts of this game, so that makes total sense. Colors seem to be brighter now, almost as if they are luminous. Yeah, that's true. That's interesting. This is like so fascinating to me. Like, I'm having a great time. Sometimes the world appears like a kaleidoscope, and it can be beautiful. That's crazy how much how much research they did. That's so awesome. When I move quickly, it's a strain on me. Things to go too quick for my mind, they get blurred. So it's really interesting. Like, like having time to digest for me has always been a big part of games. So it's like after you finish a game, having time to sit back and like think about what you saw, what the ending is, what the story meant, all that stuff has always been a big part. So it's just different. It's just weird doing this on camera because I always do this. I mean, for personal games, recording it or not, it doesn't matter. I've always done this where I just kind of take time to digest whatever it is I did. And for games especially, for anime, I do it for anime too. But it's interesting because I've never done it on camera before. But it's interesting, and I love how much work they did into it. But like, you notice so many more details when you give yourself that time to digest. You notice so many more details and things that you just like glossed over as part of the game or whatever. Like, and so it's really cool to see the making of it and see that like this is intentional and we did this on purpose, and that's just so cool. This is so cool.
So love is so far away. Don't you know how I wanna feel deeper?
I often see waviness and melting of the walls. It makes me feel nauseous. I imagine so.
Feel like this, read like this. I just wanna live, that's all.
At times there is nothing to hold on to and I go into a trance. My mind goes blank and everything gets switched off.
I just wanna feel deeper, deeper.
To refine our work, we continue to hold meetings with Recovery College East over the course of a year and a half, showing them what we had achieved so far and refining the in-game representations based on their feedback. With their help, flashbacks, visions and changes in perception were woven into the story and gameplay of Senua.
The students that are involved in this project are incredibly excited about being involved. They have described the experience as being important because it values their lived experience and shows that despite what we have been through, all of that experience becomes valid, that actually it's something that we should all be talking about.
I mean, absolutely. That's like one of the best parts about the whole thing is it like raising awareness. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Like, you know, I don't struggle with like psychosis or, you know, or these specific issues, but there's lots that is very relatable with what I do struggle with. So it's super cool. I'm all about raising awareness for this stuff.
As described range from beautiful to frightening beyond comprehension.
So true.
I heard of a girl who has to live with an angry voice screaming at her, slamming on her doors and walls 24 hours a day.
It's like Senua.
I met someone who would often see hanging corpses in the room, so real that she would sometimes try to rescue them. The panic and fear that comes with such visions is entirely understandable, and it can be a living horror for some.
Worthless, weak, pathetic. Go on, feel sorry for yourself, because there is no one left to do that for you.
I was urged by one fellow that we should not shy away from showing this horror, and so I was perpetually torn in making Hellblade. Had we gone too far with our representations?
No, it was great.
Or not far enough?
It was awesome. I love the fact that it didn't pull no punches. That's one of the reasons it was so good.
Just like your soul.
This is not going to feel good, Senua. It didn't the first time either. Ow.
In some ways, voice hearing and visions were the low-hanging fruit, so to speak. There's another aspect of psychosis that is much harder to explain, but one that I think video games are uniquely able to represent, which are often called delusions.
People begin to see patterns in the world. They begin to link things that most people wouldn't link. Most of the things that we might think would be coincidence.
Oh, that's where they got that. That's where they got that idea of like looking for patterns in the world and stuff. Interesting. That's super cool. I obviously didn't know that. That's awesome.
Not worth commenting on. Nevertheless, that might have a particular salience or importance for them.
One individual described how everyday words, sounds, colours and objects were steeped in meaning to him, forming a strange and sinister puzzle that he was determined to solve but could not quite get to the bottom of.
It's not just brain dysfunction. It's not like the system shut down. It's actually an incredibly creative process. The person creates a world populated with voices and phantasms and terrors, and they're completely immersed in it. They believe in it.
We often invite people into the studio to play the game. In one of our playtests, they played through much of the game, making associations between runes, secret messages, and the threat of darkness that stalked them. There are many things that happen in the world of Hellblade that make perfect sense within the context of Senua's mind. The dark rot that's killing her slowly from within, the secret runes of the gods that block her path to Helheim, and strange associations that exist in the game to confuse you. To complete Senua's quest, you have to internalize and accept the logic and meaning behind these things to progress.
That's true.
Afterwards they said that they didn't see much evidence of mental illness in the game. People with delusions of all sorts would argue the same thing, that they are not aware of their experience being abnormal in any way.
I need this sword. It's important.
Representing perception changes and thinking patterns within Hellblade gives us a set of symptoms common in Psychosis. But people with lived experience were keen to emphasize another point, that it is wrong to define a person by their symptoms. Quite often, the illness comes not from the symptoms, but from the stigma, isolation and mistreatment that comes about from the rest of society.
That's true.
They say that I'm cursed. What if they're right?
I needed someone to portray Senua, someone who could believably internalize her suffering. Melina Jurgens, our video editor, had been a stand-in for Senua over a few months while we perfected our motion capture techniques. Without realizing it, she had already auditioned for the role, and I knew her well enough to know that I didn't have to teach her to act, but to relive her own internal pain.
That makes so much sense!
As often is the case, those who have suffered mental anguish are never far from us.
Good God, that is uncomfortable.
By creating a compelling
that is uncomfortable. Imagine just like sitting in the studio having to like, okay, I need you to fall apart like you're really losing the battle with your mental illness. Like, my God, that is uncomfortable.
Operational character in Senua who feels very much real, albeit in a fantasy setting. We can provide a lens into her reality, a different one to yours, and this is where storytelling comes into play. I imagined her life based on common threads in real people's lives. She was always prone to psychosis as a child. Her mother Galina also heard voices and had visions, so perhaps there was a genetic aspect. Or perhaps it was cultural, as she lived within a world without science, of gods and a superstition, as exemplified by her druid father Zimbel. Psychosis developed in her late teens to early 20s and was exacerbated by stigma and isolation at the hands of the clansmen and her father.
This darkness. It's spreading.
The trauma of seeing her lover Dillian sacrificed tips her over the edge, making her remodel her reality around a concept that connects everything. The darkness. So the question, is what Senua experiences real? Can only be answered by saying, yes, it is real. It is her reality.
All of her suffering will have been for nothing. It's just a matter of time.
Towards the end of the project, service users and professionals that had collaborated with us were invited to see the near final game. It was a chance to see if the game had reflected their views or if it had misrepresented them.
For me, being involved in especially developing Senua's character has been really important, and being able to bring in my perspective and what I see and what I hear, and having that built into the game has been a real privilege. It's gritty and it's meaty, and there are some tough subjects in there that are being tackled with honesty.
For sure. That's awesome. That's so cool. This art, though, like, where do I get this art? Riddle me that.
I was blown away by it today, absolutely blown away. It was just fantastic to get the opportunity to use our lived experience in a very creative way. There's nothing tokenistic about the work we've put in. It feels like we've been listened to, things have been taken on board, and I think there was a lot of realism in the game itself, and it feels very authentic.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Hellblade will give people a good experience of what it's like to hear voices and have those experiences. I'm glad that the guys at Ninja Theory have asked us to come along and help them build an experience that's positive when it comes out, and get myself a copy and have a go.
That art, though.
I think all the way through, I was really inspired by how the conversations have translated into the game in a way that I think I didn't imagine was possible. So wonderful, really wonderful.
I really hope that others will follow the lead they've set and use the power of something like a video game to change people's perceptions.
Exactly.
To increase understanding and ultimately to make some of the stigma around voice hearing and other experiences go away.
For me, it was really exciting to see something that I explore scientifically being represented so beautifully in a character who's trying to penetrate the mysteries of the environment in which they've been placed with all of this strange uncertainty and noise and conflicting information that they're getting.
Good lord, can you imagine playing this game with an Oculus Rift? Oh my god. Can you imagine anything more horrifying? That sounds very intense.
I'm very excited by this way of trying to represent mental illness because I think it actually might be offering us insights that we wouldn't get from pure scientific explorations, and actually giving us quite an empathic view of what it might be like.
Mental illness has been with us for as long as we have been on this planet, but why? Why hasn't evolution stamped out this weakness from within our gene pool? I often pondered this question until I realized that the question had an inbuilt flaw. It assumes that being and thinking differently is a weakness. The only reason we have computers, spacecraft, medicine, poetry, art, and yes, even video games is because individuals were able to simulate new abstract realities in their minds and share them with the rest of us. We need people to be willing to see differently in order for us to progress and survive as society. And we need to be open to these new ways of seeing. And it is this spirit that motivated me to create Senua's story and share it with you.
Hell yeah. I love that take on it. It's like, that's assumed. I love that. Anyway, if you'd like to find out more about psychosis and mental health difficulties, visit hellbladehelp.info. Well, that was cool. That was I didn't like quite intend to launch into that, but I'm happy we did. That was super cool. Anyway, yeah, happy we did. That was really, really great. That was awesome. And it was really cool learning about the making of it and how it all works and everything. That was awesome. So, yeah, that's what I thought. So the only achievement I'm missing is collect all the lore stones. So really the if I really cared to get that 100% and everything, I would play through the game again. With a guide and grab all the lore stones that way. But otherwise, we did get the rest of the achievements. So that's really cool. And I'm up 2270 this month, by the way. The rest of my friends are a bunch of slackers, obviously. Anyway, regardless though, that was really cool. I didn't totally mean to go all the way into that, but that was really, really cool. So we got 3 achievements today. We're up, a lot for the day. Enter Helheim, tame the beast, defeat Fenrir, and then of course confront Hela at the final battle. So, anywho, regardless though, that was awesome. That was a great game, great story. Happy I did it, and yeah, and I have a couple ideas of what I'm kicking around to replace this game. And we will see what we end up sticking with. As far as I know, uploads tomorrow should be normal, nothing too insane there. It should be the next episode of Saints Row, and then it should be part 1 of whatever's going to replace this. So we will see, and what ends up sticking. Anyway, that is going to call for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and we will talk to you guys later.